Alrighty guys, so we are here for the Dartling Gunner testing, because we finished off with the balloon exclusion zone last video. Alright, so, for starters, let's look at the 000, the base Dartling gun. So, space purples, group pinks, around 15 to 21, and his efficiency is not bad. I think it's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good for a 0-0 tower, honestly. So yes, I don't care too much about the space and group balloons. It's more about the rounds and then its efficiency than anything. So if you're new to this, just know that I'm gonna go more over the rounds and then its efficiencies, and then compare that to their towers, than to actually really do the space and group balloons. Because I mean, sure, I'll mention it, but then anyway, back to this. So progression 100, same thing. Nothing changes for $300. So yeah, it's obviously less efficient, but by a decent amount. Makes it roughly as efficient as like a base tower for the most part, I think. Somewhere along those lines. 200, that's where we start getting a lot of extra popping power, jumping from purple to zebra, pinks to purples, so a little bit, but 6 rounds for both before life and death, and for $900 too. So yes, it's a bit less efficient, but because you almost double the price and you only get like what, 50% more rounds or something like that, I believe. Yeah, sounds about right. A little less, but so the price is going up faster than the rounds, but at least you get more rounds out of it. So, if laser shock is not a bad upgrade. It's not a bad upgrade at all. Now 300. That's the laser cannon. Laser cannon jumps to Moabs and ceramics, so he does a pretty good job. 49 for a T3 tower is very, very impressive. Very impressive. Well, but it is a lot more expensive too. 42.50, so it is less efficient. But hey, round 49 with a T3, it's pretty good. Now, efficiency-wise, 128 is I'd say average. It looks to me like it's pretty bad to average. It's like maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10. It's okay. But it is an expensive T3. Now, plasma accelerator. It's a little bit more precise micro per se, if you want to micro it through, but of course. But ZOMG's BFB, so another big leap in popping power there. But only 9 more rounds, so it dies to 58, and it's like $11,000. So his efficiency starts to get pretty bad. Because efficiency of 300 is not very good for a T4. Now T5s, just B80s around the clock. Okay, some of them B80s like to around 100 and 110, which is pretty impressive. So this is the Ray of Doom, and rounds 99 to 102. Now it is almost $100,000. So despite his really awesome rounds and stuff, it's pretty much 1,000 in efficiency, and that is bad compared to most towers in BTD 6. So yeah, not great. Let's go down now. So the 010. So purple to huh? There's no way. Can't be worse. So it did worse in terms of spaced popping power? It did worse popping power overall. Oh, whoa, that is really not good. That's probably a micro issue, because that wouldn't make sense otherwise. 020. We're pretty much back to the 000, except for the groups. You did a little bit better with the group balloons. Again, more rounds, but not quite as much as the second tier up here. Okay, this one it's 21 to 26 instead of 27, so he does it a little bit sooner. And he's the exact same price. So he's a slightly bit less efficient than the laser shock, but it's still good to have on your team nonetheless. Because faster barrel spin, it's pretty good. T3, that's the hydro rocket pod. So now it's full out ceramics. So worse than the laser cannon apparently. Yes, worse than the laser cannon, because 40 to 46, this one 49 around the so. But it is more expensive too. Holy moly. 100, that's a really bad efficiency compared to 128. Yeah, that's not very good. Now, T4. Here, okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so you can actually see what's written in these in those boxes, in those columns, you know, whatever you want to call them. I feel like boxes sounds better. Whatever. But so we got Moabs. So ability gets to Moabs, he gets to Moabs, yeah. And compared to OMGs and BFBs, which is a very big difference. For 49 rounds, 49 to 54, it's got out 58, so not good. But this is also much cheaper. It's only $12,400. This one's $17,000, like in total, of course. It's not the individual upgrade. This is a cumulative price. Therefore, it places him at about 250-ish as opposed to 300. So this is, oddly enough, this T4 right here is more efficient than the Plasma Accelerator because of its lower price tag. MAD, yeah, I mean, MAD, it's the MAD. The MAD, you know, does bad against ceramic bloods. So, of course, Space Ceramics, Group Moabs. But with the ability, when you sprays the ability, which actually is not bad against ceramics by any means, wow, B80s, 100s, and then, okay, so MGs because, yeah, ceramics. And he did really bad, really, honestly. He did worse than the 4th tier. And you're adding another $60,000. This guy has an efficiency of, like, about, you know, 1,475 or so-ish, you know, like, almost 1,500. That is really, really bad. But like I said, I predicted that because in the video where I tested out the MAD, because the MAD is really bad against ceramics, so naturally in this test he's not going to perform well at all. If I had like a balloon solver just to get rid of the ceramics, and then, you know, and then or even like a balloon liquefier at this point would probably do the trick. And the MAD focus on the Moabs, whoo, yeah, this is gonna get to around 100 plus. But yeah, no, not with the balloons in the way. Bottom path. All right. So again, he's actually better than the middle the middle first tier. Wow, I lost my words there for a moment. But same rounds, $1,000, so it is cheaper. So its efficiency is a little bit better than the first tier, but worse than the base Dartling Gunner. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Second tier, what's second tier again? Second tier was the something. You got a faster, powerful darts. It's more pierce, duh, I'm stupid. Alright, rainbows to lights, that's a massive increase, as opposed to purples and zebras and stuff. Okay, so that's pretty good. 27 to 32 beats out any other second tier. Impressive. So powerful darts is surprisingly good. I didn't expect it to do so well. It is more expensive, a little bit more expensive than the others, but it is also more efficient because he gets to a much higher rounds. All right, third tier, buckshot. Oh, buckshot. Oh no, not the buckshot was so bad. Well, not that it's so bad, but it shot so slowly that it kept chasing everything. So yes, it got to ceramics, great, just like every other third tier. 29 to 34. So it did worse than this third tier, and it did worse than that third tier. So yeah, and $5,600. Oh, that's actually cheaper than both of them. Well, then that makes an efficiency of about, I don't know, like 175 or something like that, which is a little bit worse than that, and is worse than that. Okay, so this is definitely, as of right now, second tier is the most efficient of the second tiers. Third tier is really not efficient at all, which is sad, to say the least. But T4 makes up for it. T4 really pumps up that power level a little bit. Drives us all the way to Moabs, so just like everybody else, I'll accept the Plasma Accelerator, but he's something special. I don't know. Round 62 and 63, which is better than the MAD, and better than actually it's even better than the Plasma Accelerator, surprisingly enough. So, what, 17,000, roughly the same price. So, an efficiency of 280, which is pretty good, but worse than the, worse than the Rocket Storm, better than the Plasma Accelerator. So whereas the Buckshot was really bad, the Balloon Aerial Denial System, something like that. That one is actually making up for its loss. It's in the middle. And now, the Balloon Exclusion Zone. Now this guy really packs a punch. Yeah, I mean for $60,000, which is the same price as the MAD, this guy really is something. So it gets to BADs and ZOMG's BADs, kind of across the board actually. Whereas these maxed out at ceramics to Moabs, maybe BADs and ZOMGs like with the ability, but this is just like his base thing. This one it's like unreasonable amount of abilities. However, it's still worse than the Ray of Doom, unfortunately, but still got to around like 94 and 98, which is really nice. Almost caught up to the Ray of Doom. And it's $20,000 cheaper, which places this guy at first place. The Balloon Exclusion Zone, first place. The most efficient Dartling gunner out there. With an efficiency of almost 800, which is much better than 1,000 and is much better than 1,475 or so. Nice. All right. Now, there's two things left to do here before I finish this video. We've got cross paths and we've got comparing to other towers. So, cross paths. Let's do that first. In terms of Ray of Doom, should you go for faster barrel spin or more powerful darts? So, very unsurprisingly, faster barrel spin is most definitely the play. Because Ray of Doom already has like infinite pierce, so giving him powerful darts is really not going to do him much good at all. As you can tell, he basically did the exact same thing as no crosspath at all. So it really didn't add anything to it. While faster barrel spin made it attack faster, so you got to, edged out 3 extra rounds, got a little bit more efficient, and all that kind of stuff. So Ray of Doom, faster barrel spin, that's the way to go. And middle cross path, so the better cross path, also gives you camo detection. So you don't need to invest yourself in some camo detection, and you can just rely, I don't know, on and he pops lead on his own. So he pops all types of balloons anyway, I believe. Oh, now that I think about it, I'm second guessing myself. I could be wrong. But anyway, even if he did not pop leads on his own, you wouldn't need to invest in both camo and lead. You just need the lead. So definitely much better. MAD. Something a little bit harder because the MAD in general did poorly. So, but in terms of rounds, we could see that going for the faster swivel and powerful darts, really surprisingly, actually, came out on top by a tiny fraction. It pulled out 2 more rounds before losing a life, and despite being a little bit more expensive, it also got a better efficiency here, worse efficiency there. But this is 40 points more efficient here and 20 points less efficient here, so for that sake, I'm going to say that the faster swivel and powerful darts is the better cross path, I guess. Which, again, I'm very surprised because the focus firing and laser shock should give it more balloon popping power, because laser shock, shocks the balloons and makes it do more damage. So honestly, it's a little bit surprising, but if that's what it is, I guess. Again, it could come down to micro error as well, so because that's really tiny difference. Now, balloon exclusion zone. So let's see. Okay. So if we look at the rounds, they both get to around 98. That there. Okay. However, if you look at this, the evidence we have for a tiebreaker is between the grouped balloons. The 205. Okay, the top cross path got up to BADs, whereas the faster barrel spin only got to ZOMGs. So despite being the same efficiency and everything, and same exact price, surprisingly enough, those two paths have the same price. It is better to go for a focus firing laser shock than to go for a faster barrel spin when you get the balloon exclusion zone. Now, no worries if you get the faster barrel spin, but clearly, from what I remember last video, when we actually tested out the balloon exclusion zone, the top cross path was like extremely close to beating round 98. The faster barrel spin died pretty badly to round 98. So there's nuances there, but of course that's not reflected in this test. I can't put like 98 and a half or something, you know, as much as I'd like to. All right, so now that we just decided the prominent cross paths, let's compare them to other towers. So let's see, we got 1,000, so 800, 1,000, 1,500. Okay, much worse than the mortar, much worse than the heli pilot. Oh wait, hold on. 800, 1,000. Whoa, way worse than the monkey ace. Whoa, that's saying something. Way worse than the buccaneer. Worse than the submarine. Wait, 8,115. It's in general worse than the sniper. 800, 1,050. Worse than the dart monkey. 800, 1,000. Okay, way worse than the boomerang. 100, worse than the bomb shooter. Worse than the tack shooter. Ooh, wait, hold on. 800, 1,000, 1,500. Kind of worse than the ice monkey. Worse than the glue gunner. That's it. This is across the board, this is the least efficient tower overall in the game. Wow. What a surprising reveal. Because they're powerful towers, don't get me wrong. They work actually really well with each other. But to say that they're the least efficient towers in the game? Individually. Wow. Yeah. I got no words to express that. That was totally not what I was expecting. I was excited for the Dartling gunner. I thought it would do really well. Wow. Yeah, well, that's the sad ending to the Dartling gunner review. But, you know, hopefully, within certain strategies and whatever, he can be redeemed from the sad lack of solo power that he got from this testing. So yeah, if you like this video, definitely go out into BTD 6 and show this Dartling gunner a little bit more love. Because this test clearly talks a lot of smack on this guy, on this tower, really. So yeah, so definitely go out, show the Dartling gunner some love, and also while you're at it, if you have time, also stay tuned for next video. Because next video we're gonna be starting out the wizard monkey testing. And I mean, I have high hopes for pretty much every tower. The wizard, I don't really know though. I feel like some of them are gonna do worse than others. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I bet you can figure out which one is gonna do worse in a solo tower than the others. But anyway, that's gonna start next video. You know, stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. That's another way to show the Dartling gunner some love. Because the more subscribers we get on this channel, the more fun stuff we get to do with the Dartling gunner amongst the other towers, so we can show his strong side and not show his lack of soloing ability overall. All right. Well, that being said, thank you for those of you who have subscribed to the channel, and I hope that all of you have a really good day.